This is Kayla.
And this is Becky, and we're with a couple of these read.
Yes, and we occasionally do book clubs, but we haven't been really good about this book club.
No, not this time.
We are supposed to be reading Tainted Cup, which I read almost to the 125 pages we said we would have done by today. But I also did some deep revisions on my own book, so I blame that. And Becky has been super busy.
Yeah, I've read 0 pages. So behind me, you see, this is a Quilt of Valor, and I'm making it for my doctor because I love him. He is so fabulous. They just do not make them like him anymore. And I would say he's probably in his 40s, but you know, he was in Iraqi freedom, and he was a medic, and he's in the reserve now, and he is just fabulous. He really cares about his patients, and I'm extremely sad because he's going to be leaving the practice where he's at. But again, I can't fault him because he's doing what God's calling him to do, and he'll, be going to the VA, and which I'm sure they need him, and I'm about to cry even just talking about the fact that he's leaving, because he is probably the best doctor I've ever had in my life, and I'm 65, so I think that's saying something, but he's just wonderful. So that's one of the things, and I've been working on this since September. I just didn't know, I'm not a fast quilter, so I didn't know he was leaving. So I've been knocking myself out trying to get it done with some help from some friends and everything that's helped me do it. But I'm really excited about giving it to him and thanking him for his service and his sacrifice. And, we need to thank our veterans more and hold them in higher esteem than some people do. So, I'm very proud that he's my doctor. And then another thing I did amongst all of this, we all have different aspects of our life, and I'm a quilter, so even in the quilting world, we have our superstars. Okay, so we had a workshop with one of my favorite superstars this last weekend, so I was like fangirling all over the place. And she has a quilting business called Pride and Joy, which of course her boys are her pride and joy, just like our girls are ours, And of course I had to have her sign this for me. And she creates, it's called Capturing Memories, and she does workshops at different communities, and she tries to capture the flavor, the culture of the community. And this is the picture, and this is Denny Chimes, which is at the University of Alabama, and it's very iconic. And so it's it doesn't matter if you're a University of Alabama fan or not, we have a beautiful campus you go through. This is a place where they make graduation pictures, prom pictures, all kinds of things. And then if you notice here, we have a river, and we have the bridges and everything. And then very front and center is the church. And we have different corners in our community where you will find the Church of Christ, the Presbyterian Church, the church without walls because it got blown away during the tornado. Downtown you go, you have the Presbyterian, you have the Episcopalian, you have the Methodist and the Baptist, and they're all on the same corners, they're just kind of church corner right here. So it's, because we're in the South, we're the Bible Belt. And so she just kind of really caught the flavor of, that. And took me 2 days. But this is Denny Chimes, and it's like little Polaroids, say, like one stacked on top of the other. And so this is a different technique. I've never done like this before. And it took 2 days. I think I slept Friday night, and osmosis or something clicked in, and so I was able to actually get it the next day. But she was a fabulous teacher. Sweetest person, so gracious, loved it. But saying all that is to say, hey, I haven't read the first word of Tainted Cup.
No, but it is a good book. Well, what I will say is this. I've been listening to the audiobook and reading the book, like, kind of on and off. if you have a choice, audiobook is awesome. The voice narrator is really, really good. And I say that mostly though because some of these names are hard. Like are really
Goodness,
like
don't tell
it's
me
like
that.
4 names long and I'm like, who? And then they're all over the place and I'm like, wait, who? Oh, So yeah, I had to plug into the audiobook. Also, you know, I am so ADHD, guys. So like, you know, once I get a little bit confused, I have to plug in. But that said, it is different from other books I've read. It is fantasy. It's Sherlock Holmes in this fantasy world like I've never seen before. And of course, the characters aren't Sherlock and Watson, but they're very similar. It is this world where everyone has these unique alterations to them. So the main character, Din, is what I'm going to call him because that's what the other calls him. That's what Anna calls him. Din has been altered so that he forgets nothing.
Wow.
So if he like takes a
Can I get that alteration? I need that alteration.
But it comes with other things. Like it's a society built on like plants and research on plants and things like that. So if he sniffs a certain plant, his brain is plugged in, and anything he sees, anything he tastes, anything he hears, he's going to remember it, and he's going to be able to dictate it. And he works for Anna, who is the big investigator, and she is so hilariously eccentric. Like, half the time she wears a blindfold, and people come in and they're like, "Are you blind?" "No."
"No,
just no." She's like, "I feel like using all of my senses impairs the other senses." And just, she does all this goofy stuff. She's a lot of fun. She also has the tendency to, their society is in some circles, it's almost Victorian. It's like they have servants who serve the high families and things like that. And she'll just come in and be like, "Well, if we can find out who this guy was sleeping with, we'll find out who the murderer is." And it's like, it doesn't matter that the Duchess, that's not what they're called, but you know, that this high lady is sitting there. She's just going to say it. She's not going to say sleeping with. She drops the F-bomb occasionally.
Oh, wow.
So okay. She's crass. She's funny. And there's also, their society is being attacked by leviathans. So on their continent, they have these walls built up around the seas.
Wow.
Like huge. We just recently, like toward the end of the pages we'd read, we see the first wall. And what happens is during the wet season, when the rains come, the oceans start to rise, and these leviathans come out of the sea and try to come on land.
Oh, wow.
And
well, I can't wait to read it. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it.
It's wild.
I'm almost finished with this book. I only have 42 pages left, so I can't get into this one.
It is such a fun read, but you have to like get into it. So when I said it's not like a book I've ever read, I read fast-paced books. It's not fast-paced, really. Because it's having to introduce you to this incredibly complex world.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. So you've got to understand the world in order to understand the story.
Yeah.
Yes. Gotcha.
So dig in. Viewers, if you are reading with us, please give us a nod in the comments.
Yes.
Let's chat.
Yeah, and let us know what you think about it, because I'm going to be starting this book as soon as I get through binding this quilt behind me. So in a couple of days, I'll be starting this. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you think.
No spoilers past page 125. And guys, if you are not to page 125 yet, don't read the comments, maybe. This would be a good plan.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Bye.